My name is Jalyal. I live in Dubai. I have a friend in Kazakhstan. His name is Michael. He lives in Taraz. We met on the internet. Michael invited me to Taraz. I am going to Kazakhstan. My name is Michael. I live in Taraz city. I have a friend who lives in Dubai. His name is Jalyal. He wants to learn to speak well in Russian. I helped him in learning the Russian language. After a long dialogue, I invited him to my hometown, Taraz. I invited him to Kazakhstan. My name is Jalyal. I live in Dubai. I am interested in the Russian language. And on the internet, I met Michael. He lives in Taraz. He invited me to his house. I am going to Kazakhstan. To the arrival of my friend Jalyal, we prepare thoroughly. If he wants to learn Russian, so he should know the Russian traditions. Russian people, according to tradition, when they meet guests, they greet them with bread and salt. Salt we bought in the store, and the loaf we baked ourselves. We took some Russian national costumes and created some greetings for our distinguished guest. And then we went to meet him at the airport. I haven't met Michael in real life, but I had an idea that we would get along very well. But how he actually met me, it was beyond my ideas. I was very surprised of all of it. When Jalyal came, we met him with bread, salt, and as the Russian people should do, with an open heart. We came to meet our guest with bread and salt and said hello. We know you will come to us again and again. Jalyal, welcome to our home, Taraz. Jalyal broke off a piece of bread, salted it, and tried it. Well, I think Jalyal liked the bread and salt. It was a very interesting meeting. A Russian national costume, tradition, bread and salt. I was shocked in every sense of the word. Our city used to be called Jambul. It was named in honor of the great Kazakh poet Jalyal Al-Abdulla. Previously there were Jambul people, and now we are Taraz people. But regardless of that, either we are Jambul people or Taraz people. We still love our great poet Jalyal Al-Abdulla. I showed the historical and cultural center of ancient Taraz to my guest from Dubai. At this place was a green market earlier. At this place, watermelons and melons are sold. Here, candies are sold, and also you can buy kurt. Excavations are still underway, and interesting valuables are still being found. The museum is still being built, an indoor museum. It is beautiful, it has nice lawns and gardens. Now people come here to relax with their families, and children are playing and just having fun. Although it was difficult to realize that the market will no longer be in this place, now people just go to relax, just to enjoy the fresh air at Taraz. The archaeological excavations are carried out in the center of Taraz. This suggests that Taraz is one of the oldest cities in the area. I showed Jalyal our globe, which shows the map of Kazakhstan. There is Taraz, Aktobe, Astana, and Almaty. In general, we looked at it and then decided to take this ball and lift it up. As we are with the universe, as we are the supreme rulers of the world. Well, that's how we joked a little with Jalyal. We laughed and just went on. Kazakhstan is a big country, and I'm convinced of it. When he stood in front of the globe, there was the map of Kazakhstan. And I found Taraz city on this card. And I found Taraz city on this map. Have you thought it could be possible to touch the city with your hands? And we touched it with Jalyal on the map of Kazakhstan. I showed Jalyal our central square, where people gathered in the evening to roller skate and to ride bicycles. It can be said that the central square is our pride. There are various concerts and different events. On this square, the parade of May 9th is held. I love to walk here with my family. On the central square, there's the city Akimat. There is a monument of Jibek B. Jibek B united all the tribes to protect the people and the land from enemy invasions. In general, he was a wise person, a wise leader. Michael told me a story of Jibek B. I was very pleased that Michael knows the history of his people. To my guest from Dubai, I showed him the monument, which was opened recently, a monument to Joly. Joly is a great poet, a great bee, a bee of the big Jews. Together with ITK and Kazakh B, they created a set of laws, Jete Jargı. I showed Jalyal the presidential park, which is located on Joly B Street. We walked there. I also walked with my family. There are very beautiful trees, and trees grow there. Here we take pictures and shoot all sorts of videos. There are ancient sculptures that were carved out of stone. Look at these stones. It reminds me of the story of a man in this region. The history of the Kazakhs, the ancient Kazakhs. I really liked it, and I felt I was living among them. Such a feeling was in my soul. At the entrance to the park, there is a chick fountain. There is a large stela there with 3 lions. On this stela is our flag set, the flag of my favorite Kazakhstan. And this stela is guarded by lions, 3 winged lions. Also, they are called griffins. Jalyal wondered why people sit and go fishing at the presidential park. I say that you can go fishing because in this rivulet there are marinkas. Marinka, this is a very tasty fish. Well, we stood up and looked and then just walked on. There is a monument called Koshkek Batir in the first presidential park. And in Jambil region, there's also Koshek Batir. Can you imagine? A monument in the city, Koshek Batir. I am a presenter, a showman of different events, weddings and anniversaries. But Kazakhstan is a multinational country, and I'm often invited to Asyandi, a Korean one-year birth, and Hangabi, a Korean anniversary, also on the Uzbek wedding of a bride, Shalan. And to my friend from Dubai, I decided to show the traditions of the Russian wedding. I've never been on a Russian wedding. And when Michael said I was invited to a Russian wedding, I was very pleased. On the Russian wedding, they light a family flame. This is when the parents pass the candles to the newlyweds, so they can light their candle as well. It was very interesting and touching. I was standing with wedding guests and watched this interesting Russian tradition. I was very interested. At the wedding, there is such a beautiful tradition as stealing shoes. The man who stole the shoe requires a repayment of guests at the wedding. They put the shoe on the tray and the guests have to put their money into the shoe. Then the money is handed over to the groom, while the shoe certainly returns to the leg of the bride. It was so interesting to watch the ransom of shoes. This is a Russian traditional wedding. At the wedding, there is a beautiful and wonderful tradition of removing veils. This is a touching tradition as the bride says farewell to girlhood and becomes a wife. Removing the veil takes place in a circle, in the circle of all guests at the lighted candles. This is a very beautiful custom, a beautiful moment when the veil is removed, and instead of a snow-white veil, she is covered in a handkerchief. I was very touched to see this process between mother and bride. I almost cried. The climax of the wedding is the cutting of the wedding cake. The newlyweds cut together the first pieces and make a wish. Then they feed their parents. The grooms feed the bride's parents. The bride feeds the groom parents and call them mom and dad. Then they feed each other. This is beautiful, bright, and slightly touching moment. The wedding cake was very beautiful. I tried it. I really liked it. It was delicious. I think my friend Jalyal liked to visit the traditional Russian wedding. I'm very grateful to Michael for showing me the wedding. It is very good when people do not forget their national traditions, weddings, and all the life processes. I showed Jalyal expanses of Kazakhstan, the steppes, the bright sun, the blue sky, the green grass, and the smell of the dew in the morning. Jalyal liked it very much. Every country has something to boast about. And here I really liked the nature, the prairie flowers, and the fresh air that carries the smell of different colors. We are next to the Karahan Mausoleum. As a child, I often passed by this place and saw how pilgrims come and prayed. One time I even came in. I was just wondering how it all happens. The love of Karahan and Aisha Bibi has several legends. On one of them, Karahan fell in love with Aisha Bibi, the daughter of his sworn enemy. And one day he burst into the village and cut Aisha Bibi and rode away. But the father of Aisha Bibi sent somebody after them. They were riding for a long time and got tired and decided to rest. And Aisha Bibi went to bathe in the river Asu. But then they were caught up and put into the steppe viper into the salkele of Aisha Bibi. When Aisha Bibi dressed in her salkele, a viper bit her. Karahan picked her up and went into the nearest village to ask Mullah to bless their marriage. But their marriage did not last long, only a few minutes. And in the place where Karahan's lover was dead, he built a mausoleum. Every nation has a legend about love stories, but somehow in all nations, only sad love stories are not forgotten, like Aisha Bibi and Karahan. And this story touched my heart. At the entrance of the Karahan Mausoleum stands a stone. This is the national Kazakh Togus Kumalak ancient game, a game of logic and wit. This is the game that reminds me of our game. It's very similar, which is called Arabic Buet. There you put 7 stones at each dimple and play. At the Karahan Mausoleum, there are so many pilgrims and they come to honor this holy place specifically for the building itself and why the building was built.